Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and today I'm very excited to present to you guys the STRIA Sport 107 series, right? So STRIA Sport is a brand new company that makes basketball shoes and just basketball gear in general. It's good to see. It's a breath of fresh air. You know, it's always like Under Armour, Nike, Adidas, and I guess like the Chinese companies, Anta, Li-Ning, and all that. Of course, they have a lot to prove. They sent these out, of course, for review, but they're not paying me or anything. It's just me testing it out and showing you guys like how I feel and just like my opinions on the shoe. And this is my first impressions. I just got in today. I've been walking around in it. I tried it out a little bit indoors, just like in my apartment. It's going for 120 bucks, or it retails for 120 bucks, but I just checked their website and it's on sale for $107 right now. So I guess that's what the 107 is for. It's trying to say it's a 107 series and we're gonna put it on sale for 107 bucks. That's kind of cool. So if you guys do want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box, but let's get it started off with the tracciones. So as far as the traction goes, they're using a herringbone traction pattern basically throughout the entire outsole, besides I guess in the middle here. So here in the middle we have like a diamond pattern and it says STRIA Sport. Don't really like the STRIA Sport. I feel like that's a little cheesy, but I guess branding. You do want to brand your shoes. But I don't really care how the traction pattern looks as long as it performs well, right? So this is just from my wood floors and just from a first impression standpoint, but it seems to bite like insane, guys, like really crazy. As one of the hardest bites that I've ever felt basically on my wood floors, and I've been testing, of course, like a lot of shoes, right? And of course, the finish is different from an actual indoor basketball court, so I'm gonna need to test it there. Some good news, the gym is back open. I'm not allowed to hoop on the basketball court, but it is open where you can they put like bikes there, which kind of sucks. And of course, it's not gonna be a full performance review. It's just kind of like a brief synopsis of the outsole on the indoor court, so sorry about that. It's the best I got right now, but anyways, yeah, the stop seems to be really good. The grooves are pretty well spaced apart. Feeling it with my fingers, the rubber does move pretty easily though, so I don't know how durability is going to be, but then the grooves are deep, so I feel like durability is going to be pretty good. I mean, where the herringbone is, the rubber is pretty damn soft, but like in the middle where the diamond pattern is, the rubber seems to be a little bit harder, so we'll have to see on durability. I'm going to be playing with these outdoors. But yeah, I mean, the traction seems really good right now. All right, moving on to the heel to toe transition. I really like it. So as you guys can see, look at this heel, man. I really like this shape. It's super curved. There's one thing I don't like about it, but for heel to toe transition is super nice, right? So you get this really nice fluid rocking motion here in the heel. You have a good amount of heel compression. You have a nice curved shape here in the forefoot, and you have, look at that, you have a lot of forefoot flex. So heel to toe transition seems very smooth, and of course that's just something I like to have in my ball shoes personally. All right, moving on to the cushioning setup. They're using a full length STRIA foam, so of course it's their own proprietary blend of chemicals and plastics, and they made STRIA foam, right? So this foam seems pretty damn soft. So just pressing it with my fingers, there's a lot of give, and I like it. And also on foot, it feels very soft. There's a good amount of compression. It doesn't feel super bouncy though. It feels more soft to me, but of course I'm gonna need to actually play and all that to fully test that out. I also really like this indentation here in the heel, right? So as you guys can see in the middle of the midsole, you guys can see this indentation where if you compress the cushion, it allows the midsole to compress a little bit more because of this shape. Like I said, this heel part like comes up like crazy, right? So heel to toe transition seems very smooth because of that, but I feel like it's a little too steep. It feels a little empty right there, right? So usually shoes have like foam here, so like when you're walking like this, you definitely feel a little bit of cushion, and it allows the midsole to compress a little bit more, but because of this shape you can't really feel that as much, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's not a huge deal, and it still like compresses a good amount. It's still soft, but I feel like they should angle this down a little bit, and just in my personal opinion. Court feel seems good, you know, especially here in the forefoot. So I feel like, you know, impact protection is going to be good, and overall it's going to be a very responsive cushioning setup. We'll have to see the longevity of the STRIA foam though. You know, is it going to be a foam that bottoms out quickly, or is it going to be a cushioning setup where it lasts a long time? So of course I'm going to need to fully test that out as well. But right now I'm liking it so far. All right, here in the midsole it says 107, and then there is the STRIA logo, and the insole is actually very nice. I can't believe how thick it is. That improves the step-in comfort a lot. And if you feel the strobel board is actually kind of soft as well. It's very interesting. You know, if you press it with your finger, I mean, like if you look at it, it looks like one of those where it's like super glued down and very stiff, but pressing it with your finger, you can actually feel the STRIA foam. So I actually like that as well. So I feel like they did a very good job with the cushioning setup. We'll just have to see how long this cushioning setup lasts. All right, moving on to the material. So they're basically using a mesh material throughout this entire upper, and there are some synthetic overlays like here in the forefoot. Here in the midfoot, you kind of have like, it looks like a strap a little bit, but it's not. It's just a synthetic overlay. And then here in the ankle area, they're using a synthetic leather material, as well as here in the tongue. And then of course you have an external, I guess like an external TPU heel counter. You know, it's a very thin plastic though. So of course, like overall quality of the materials isn't the best. You know, it's only 107 bucks, so you can't really complain, but on foot it feels great. It doesn't look terrible either. Like the synthetic leather and all that, of course, it doesn't look that good, but it's not a huge deal. The tongue has a good amount of padding, and it's an oversized tongue, so I really like that. And also it's an independent tongue, so hopefully it doesn't move around all too much, but I do like the extra thick padding here in the tongue, as well as here in the ankle area. There is a good amount of padding too, which makes the shoe feel very comfortable. And the padding is more here on top of the shoe, right, as opposed to the bottom. So that helps kind of like lock your foot down here into the shoe once you tighten it up and all that. So materials I like so far. All right, moving on to the fit. The shoe fits me pretty damn well. You know, I went true to size, and I recommend most people do the same. Here in the toe box area, it's a little bit roomier than I would like. I wish it was a little bit, you know, more snug, but that's just my personal preference. And it's not to the point where it's super uncomfortable because there's just so much dead space. There's just a little bit for me. Width-wise, I would say it's a normal width. So if you have a wide foot or you like to have a roomier fit in your shoes, I would suggest going up half a size. But for everyone else, I would suggest going true to size. And also, the shoe is super easy to put on. You know, look at this tongue. It's a very large, oversized tongue. So you just open that up. I mean, there's not really a heel tab, but it does come up a little bit. And then you just slide your foot in, tighten up the laces, and you're good to go. All right, as far as the support and lockdown goes, I don't think there's going to be any issues for lateral containment. So here in the heel, we have an external TPU heel counter. And of course, as you guys can see, the STRIA foam comes up a good amount to act as a sidewall here in the heel, as well as here in the forefoot. And also this mesh material is fused up here to give this mesh material more support. So I feel like lateral containment is going to be very good. You have a little bit of an outrigger. The midsole and outsole do protrude out here, so I feel like lateral stability is going to be good. So support and lockdown, I don't think is going to be an issue in the shoe at all. As far as the weight goes, so they were saying on their website how light this shoe is, and it feels very light in hand. I'm very excited to see what it actually weighs. Okay, so 12 ounces. And let's check the left pair. Yeah, 12.05 ounces. So yeah, the average weight of my shoes is around 12.5 ounces. So that's lighter than normal. And you know, they did a good job. I feel like it's a very lightweight shoe. It feels pretty minimal here in the upper. The cushion, I feel like they did a good job as well. It doesn't feel like a super dense midsole compound. And I also like where they put the padding in the shoe, right? So for me personally, I like to have a very minimal material here in the toe box, as well as here in the midfoot. And then the tongue and the ankle area can have a little bit of padding, so it improves the comfort. So that's just how I like it. All right, as far as the aesthetics go, they did a really good job. So when they started like promoting a little bit, you know, they just launched their company, and then they took a picture of this shoe and put it on their Instagram. And I was like, oh, those look pretty dope. And it's a new brand. I'm very interested. And it's US based, I believe, right? Like their headquarters are based in the US. And then I reposted it on Instagram, and a lot of you guys seem to like it. So yeah, personally for me, I feel like they did a really good job in designing this. And like I said, the colorways are dope as well. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, my first impressions of this shoe are great. You know, the traction seems insane. The cushioning setup seems good. Nothing crazy, you know, like it doesn't seem like there's a crazy amount of bounce or, you know, a lot of compression. I mean, there's still a good amount of compression, but it's not crazy like the PG4s or the LeBron 18. But, you know, I feel like it's going to be a good, you know, responsive cushioning setup with good impact protection. Materials seem good and thin, and also it's comfortable here in the tongue as well as in the ankle area. It seems supportive and all that as well. So I'm liking the shoe so far, and I'm very excited to try it out. But anyways, that's my first impressions look. Again, if you guys do want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.